Hey everyone, name's Hitch, Hotel India Charlie, and this is gonna be my first video vlog type thing where I'm just gonna set up a camera and just talk to myself and, in a way, talk to you about anything really. I realized that my practice with English has been kind of non-existent lately, so I do want to pick it back up and be a little bit more active with the language because languages aren't the most how to say it. They're very quirky. If you don't keep them, if you don't give them time, if you don't practice, you'll start to forget, and that's what I'm trying to prevent here. So I am 25 years of age. Wow, that's weird to say. How time flies, huh? It is currently the early morning of March 17th, and I currently run a store here in Istanbul on the Asian side of the city. It's a general grocery store, and I run the store 6 days a week, from 8 a.m. until 12, until midnight. Sometimes, because we're currently in the month of Ramadan, people are fasting and they're waking up just before sunrise to have the last dinner, to have their last dinner before fasting. So I try to keep the store open at least until then, so people can kind of get their required items. If, say, you run out of eggs, you can just take a little walk to my store and get them. It's more of a service ideology more than anything, because I don't make a lot of money off of those, and sure as hell I'm not making a lot of money keeping the store open instead of going to sleep. But as long as people's needs are met, then I'm a happy business owner. My clients are very valuable. Every single person that walks into my store, I have the obligation to make them happy and make them smile before they leave. I have the obligation to serve them the best way I can with utmost respect and sincerity. I guess that's how small businesses are, huh? Just trying to do your best, earn an honest living, make an honest buck. So far, nobody has showed up because it's 2 a.m. on a Monday morning, so I don't expect a lot of business. But in the off chance that someone needs something, I'll be happy to help with that. So, right now, I like to call myself the big complainer because spending so much time in the store, because I live here, I live in my store 6 days a week, and I keep it open for 16 hours a day. Right now, it's way more than that. It's gonna be pretty much 24 hours now. I'll be open for 24 hours, and I'll be the only one in the store running it. I have some deliveries that I'm gonna accept, some products. So it's gonna be a pretty busy day, in all senses of the word. What was I saying? Yeah, I call myself the big complainer because staying in the store for so long is not great for your mental health, because, well, the simplest reason is it feels like a cage, a golden cage, if you will, because you are making money, you are financially secure, you're able to save money as well because your expenses are non-existent almost, other than debt and charity and helping out your family and all of that. So you're able to put aside a lot of money, but your quality of life is heavily diminished, and that part is pretty big to deal with. It took me like a couple months to fully accept the idea that, okay, I'm here now. That's what I'll be doing for a good 6-7 months, right? And complaining has been a way of coping with that, out loud, not just in my head, because everyone does that. We all complain in our heads, but when you do it out loud, I feel like it gains a whole new meaning. It becomes something that's solid. Is that a proper word to use there? It becomes something public or something that is, instead of just a thought. And it's been one of the only ways that I try to keep my sanity, also keep my language proficiencies alive, by doing it in English and sometimes Russian, very rarely in German, because I do speak those languages to an extent, very informally, very just small talk level, but they're there, and it's nice to take advantage of the situations where there are no customers in the store, nobody's coming in or out, which from 9 a.m. to around 2 p.m. that's how it is, because everybody's either at work or at school. At least for now, because summertime is gonna be different. Right now, that's how it is, and I try to use those times as leverage to keep my abilities alive. And complaining so much kind of gives you an idea of, okay, yeah, you're dealing with a lot right now, maybe, and you're not having the most fun or enjoying the life the most. But there comes a point where you realize what you're complaining about may be someone else's dream. Because it's gonna sound like an insane amount of copium, but I myself consider myself extremely lucky to have a job in this economy that pays decently well. Absolutely. Because right now, getting a job in a corporate fashion, white collar, ain't no way. There's so many hurdles you gotta jump through, so many hoops you gotta jump through to just have the chance of being considered. And the CVs, they mean nothing. Interviews mean nothing. Case studies and projects, sample projects they have to complete to get a job, usually is just a way for corporations to solve small problems. They don't want to pay contractors or their own employees to solve. And it all feels like a huge trap that you have to avoid the entire time you're applying for a job. And that is just disheartening, to say the least. How many of you have been trying to get a decent job, not the best job in the world, not the most fun or the dream job? No, not even. We're past that point. Okay, that point is long gone. Nobody's trying to get their dream job. No real person is. We're all trying to make a living. Okay, we're all regular people in different countries, different places. Everybody's in a struggle for survival, and having a job is absolutely essential. It is fundamental. And I don't know if you realize, but there are a ton of videos titled the same way, or a variation of the title. Don't quit your job, life is not a joke. And there's a reason why so many different people are recording and uploading videos with that title, completely unrelated to one another, because it is true. It is true. No matter how much you hate your job, no matter how much you want to get out, just know that the first week that you're unemployed, you're going to be in such deep shit, because you're going to realize how much effort and chance and luck and networking that you need to do to get a decent job. That's how it is. And it's a massive shame. It is a massive shame that in the year 2025, where we can build factories completely robotic, where they manufacture a product from scratch to the final version, where we have AI that has, I don't know, trillion, billion, gazillion gigabytes, petabytes, terabytes of information, but we still have to work. That's odd, isn't it? The amount of technology that we have, the amount of infrastructure, amount of systems in place. If we as humanity wanted to, we could just have everything automated, and people wouldn't have to just live to survive, to work to survive. That's how I feel here in Turkey, which we're not in the greatest position at all. the inflation has been immense. Okay, I think we're like the second worst when it comes to inflation. And when you're enclosed, when you're keeping your view very short, you think that, oh, we're like that and everybody else is just doing fine, right? No, not at all. Not at all. A lot of people in the West, in Europe, in the UK, in the US, they're struggling hard. Not as much as you or me, but they are struggling. They're feeling the first effects of inflation, of prices doubling, like in very short periods of time, and how you pay more for less things, pay more for less of a thing. That can be a car that is built with cheaper materials, doesn't have as many like attributes, doesn't have many additions or special things. You know what I mean. But you paid more for it compared to 2-3 years ago. Or when you get that pack of mayo that was like 400 grams before, and it costs like $3. Now it costs $6 and it's like $2.70. Everybody's feeling it to different, to various levels, but it's just the truth that we're rolling towards a very difficult period of our lives, and I feel very bad for pretty much everybody who is trying to make a living, who's trying to survive, because I'm 25. I graduated university in July last year in 2024, and it's been not great. It's not been great, okay? I'm very lucky to be in a country where education is free, absolutely, 100%. I don't have to deal with like 100,000 in student loans at all, and I am thankful to God for that. Everybody in the US are going for degrees other than like STEM fields or computer sciences or software engineering or any of that. Like, I don't know how you find the courage to study music. I don't know how you find the courage to study like arts and theater, because that's a risk right there. That is a risk. I feel like best case scenario, someone who knows someone who knows someone, you're gonna be in the industry the moment you step foot off the fucking campus, or like you're gonna be in school, that you're gonna just go into academia and stay in school indefinitely. Those are like the best case scenarios in my head. What usually happens is you study for 4 years and then you graduate with a degree that barely does it. I'm sorry to say this, okay? I'm sorry, it barely does a thing. It barely does a thing. Nobody's trying to hire theater graduates or music graduates, arts. Those are not professions that are required. I know myself, I studied language. I majored in Chinese language and literature. Yeah, I speak Chinese, yeah. But that only gets you so far. And me, myself, I'm not a very ambitious person. I'm very easy to please. I am satisfied with almost the bare minimum, which is a great skill to have in this economy. It allows me to save a lot of money, but also its bad side, its disadvantage is that perhaps I could be doing more with what I have. Which, God willing, we'll get there. But what I was saying is I know that it's going to be a bullshit degree that's going to land you a job at like a fucking cafe at 18 an hour, which is still pretty good, Over here, if you don't live in Istanbul, which is the most expensive city in Turkey by like a lot, and if you manage to stay with your parents and find a minimum wage job somewhere, even that's going to be decent for a while. You'll be able to, get your driver's license. You'll be able to start saving for exams, like your certifications and all of that. Maybe you can enroll in a course or something. You'll still probably work like 12-hour shifts, but it's going to be a start at least. But the difference is, in Turkey, you'll do that with close to, like, unless you studied in a private university, which if you did, you already have money, so you don't have to worry about it. In Turkey, if you've done that, you don't have student loans. You don't have student loan debt. In America, you do the exact same thing, working for like 16 an hour at McDonald's after graduating from a 4-year bachelor's. Not only do you have like dozens of thousands or like hundreds of thousands in student loans, it is also a type of debt that you cannot get rid of with bankruptcy. You cannot file for bankruptcy and get rid of that debt. So it sticks with you unless you pay it all, until you pay it all off. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to be pressured to pay it all off as soon as you can. So, yeah, life is tough. Life is really tough. And next time I'm making a video like this, I'm going to talk about car payments, and how much of a trap that is, and how easy it is to get into that trap of just cars and paying a lot for 4 wheels on a metal chassis. Yeah, I'm sure you can already guess my viewpoint on that matter, but I'm gonna keep it like this for now. I'll just quickly send this over to YouTube, see how it performs. Not only is this a great way for me to, harvest my time here and create and not only consume, because, we all consume, yes, but sometimes it is good to put something out there as well. And if this is something you're interested in, make sure to stay around. No, that's not the right way to use it. Make sure to stick around, and I'll be sure to do the same. So, hope you're doing good, hope everything goes well, and stay strong out there. It's a mess.